Welcome everyone to Culture Estate. Today we're going to talk about your mom.
Tell my mama.
Welcome everyone, I'm Luis Leva. This is Culture Estate, and today I'm going to teach you how to invest in real estate with almost no money at all. I'm going to teach you how to 3 times to 4 times your money. So let's get started. So first of all, why would you not want to invest in real estate the traditional way? Well, investing in real estate, for a lot of you who don't know, it's very difficult, especially right now. Finding the right deals is not as easy as it may sound. I know a lot of gurus and people on the internet or even on TV make it sound like
you don't need to be a genius to learn how to make a lot of money with my system. A lot of my students who are average people make a lot of money.
But if it was that easy, guys, everyone would be doing just that. It's very hard. One of the hardest things, even for experienced investors, is finding that good property. One thing I love telling people is that you don't make money when you sell your property. You actually make your money when you buy the property. And it's because you have to buy at the right price. If not, you're destined to fail right from the beginning. The second reason why you are gonna not enjoy investing as much as you may think is because a lot of us don't have construction experience or don't even know the right contractors. Now, you may be able to pick up the phone book, or whoever still uses the phone book, or you might go on Angie's List or whatever and find contractors. But I'm going to tell you why finding a contractor is one of the hardest things. A lot of people are going to gravitate towards hiring the cheapest contractor, which is ultimately not the best idea. Some of them could work out, but the majority of them don't. The cheapest contractors usually run out of money, they usually ask you for more money, or they abandon the jobs altogether. And if you pick the most reputable contractors, they could be very expensive, and it could end up costing you a lot more money than what you budgeted for, where there's a lot of skilled people who could do it for maybe not as much, but we don't know that until we experience it for ourselves. The next thing you're gonna wanna look out for is your permits. Permits are some of the things that could hold you up for months and months and months, even a year or longer. Inspectors, those things are going to be, gonna make your hair fall out or turn gray, or whatever the case may be, because sometimes you just don't understand how these inspectors who are supposed to be on your side and help you out, how you can sometimes feel like they're sabotaging your entire investment altogether. And the last reason why it's going to be very difficult for you to get into the game of investing, unless you watch this video, is because it takes a lot of money to invest. Now, I know you can use leverage, you can use hard money, or some of you may even be able to use an FHA renovation loan, and those are all solid ideas, especially the FHA route. If you can do that, we'll talk about that at a later date. But investing with leverage can also be very risky, and the reason I say that is because if you don't know what you're doing, you're gonna run out of time. Usually these loans that you get with hard money are for a year, sometimes 18 months, but with a lot of the things that I just mentioned in the introduction to this video, such as the contractors and the permits and all of that, you could run out of time. Those 12 months could go in a blink of an eye, and then what happens is you have to pay extension fees and you have to pay more interest, and before you know it, when you calculate how much money you made versus how much money your lender made, it's very lopsided. Your lender never loses, but you, on the other hand, may end up losing a ton of money. So make sure that you stay clear of those, and I'm going to show you right now exactly how you can do just that and have all of the upside of being a flipper. So the way you're going to do that is by investing into these 3 companies and participating in the real estate flip industry, but without having to have all of the headaches and the nightmares that I just mentioned. Now, these 3 companies are actually creating what is called the iBuyer type of industry out there. Now, if you're not familiar with what an iBuyer is, it's basically they are institutional buyers who buy properties right from the public. They do it electronically. They just have a website set up, so someone can just go to their website and they can just fill out a form and then sell their house directly to these huge companies. And now these companies sometimes buy thousands of properties a year, so they definitely have a process in place. So let me get started by telling you about the first company. Now, before we do, I just want to warn you guys, I'm not telling you to invest in these companies. I'm just telling you to do your own research about these companies. That way, if you find that there's value here, then if you invest your money and you get a return, it's because you did the homework. I'm just telling you what I do. So the first company I'm going to talk to you guys today about is Zillow. And I know what you guys are thinking. Zillow, well, I thought they were a company that deals with real estate agents, and they help marketing for real estate agents. Yes, they do that. That was their core business, but now it seems like they're moving into a new business, which is the iBuyer business. And believe it or not, their iBuyer business is growing very, very fast, and it might soon be their number one way of making revenue, making income. So let me just tell you a little bit about that. So they started the iBuyer program, where iBuyer program is called Zillow Offers. They started this in about 2018. Zillow had about $1.23 billion in revenue from its investor business, this business that you guys want to be a part of, in the first 6 months of 2020. That's pretty impressive. But what's even more impressive is this. That is up 224% from 2019, where they only did about $377 million in revenue. That is humongous growth, guys. That is huge. You don't see that with just about any other investor business or any company, period. Now, this is where it gets interesting. Their losses were 15% from their Zillow Offers program, but in the same time last year in 2019, their losses were 31%. So this is interesting because I want you guys to understand this. Their revenue has gone up by 224%, and their losses have gone down by 50%. So that is huge. If they weren't learning from their mistakes, because I know a lot of people, including myself, have judged Zillow and a lot of these other companies for getting into a business they know nothing about. But guess what? Not only are they learning very quickly, but they're quickly making sure that they don't make the same mistakes twice. As you can see here, their growth is going through the roof and their losses are going down big time. Now, I know what you're thinking. Why would I want to invest into a company that is making losses? If anyone's going to lose money, I'm going to go and lose it on my own. Well, the interesting thing about Zillow is that they offset their losses through their other businesses. As you know, Zillow also has the marketing business for real estate agents. They also now have mortgages. So all of these other parts of their business are now starting to also bring revenue in, which is adding to their bottom line and is allowing them to squeak through a profit, let it alone be a small profit, but it's still a profit, while they understand and fine-tune their investor business. Oh yeah, and one other thing about Zillow is they just announced last week that they became a full-fledged real estate brokerage. And that's money that we haven't even factored in yet to the bottom line. So this company could definitely have some upside potential. Now, if you don't believe me that you could have made money with Zillow and Zillow Offers, let's just take a look at the graph. Last year at this time, Zillow stock was trading at $29. But since Zillow really got serious about their iBuyer program this year, their stock has gone up threefold and is trading for about $100 a share. Now, if you guys are interested in looking into more details about Zillow or any of the companies that I'm going to mention to you today, I'll leave down below the software that I use to purchase stock and sell stock. Our next company that I'm going to mention to you is the one and only Redfin. Redfin is a brokerage, and they also have the iBuyer program. Those are the two core businesses. Now, Redfin has made about $152 million in the first 6 months of 2020, and last year they made $61 million in the same time. So the growth has been pretty good.
That's what she said.
Now let's take a quick look at their losses. Their losses have gone from $79 million last year in the first 6 months to about $68 million this year, which is a good sign because they've almost 3x their income, but their expenses or their losses have actually shrunk down a little bit, which is pretty good. So as a percentage, the company is doing a lot better. Still not profitable. They're not turning a profit just yet. So something about this company is that they were very hard hit by the COVID epidemic and they had massive layoffs. So because of the massive layoffs, they should have also had bigger earnings because they don't have as much expenses. I think that this could be a bigger loss. So that's something that you guys need to be aware of as well. Another thing about Redfin is that they don't really have the same type of exposure that Zillow does. I mean, when I say exposure, I mean the household name, the brand recognition as Zillow does, but that doesn't mean you can't make money with it. So just let me give you an example. If you would have invested in Redfin at the beginning of 1 year from today, so back in September, October of last year, you could have bought into Redfin at about $16 a share. This year, the stock is about right now, the stock is about $46 at the time of the recording of this video. So that would have been a 3x return on your money as well. So even though it doesn't have the same size or scope as Zillow, it's still, the iBuyer platform is such a hot novelty right now that people are just paying to be involved in these companies because they know the upside potential is huge. Okay, so the next company I want to talk to you about, this is the big one. This is the one that I think you guys can make way more return than 3 times or 4 times your money. So you're going to want to pay close attention to this one. But wait guys, before we go any further, please give this video a thumbs up, as it would mean a lot to me and it would help this video get out in front of a lot more people. Our last company is Opendoor. Now, Opendoor is probably the least known, if you're not in the real estate industry, of all the ones I just mentioned, but they're actually the ones who created the iBuyer program. They've been around since 2014, and they've had some massive growth, and they're not even on the stock market yet. How can you invest in this company? Well, I'm glad that you asked, because I'm going to explain to you exactly how to do just that, so listen up. Now, Opendoor is going to be merging with a SPAC, a special purpose acquisition company. So what they're going to be doing is later on this year, they're going to be merging with this special acquisition company so they can get brought on to the stock market, to the exchange, a lot quicker than if they would have traditionally IPO'd, or initial public offering, for those of you who are not familiar with the language I'm using. So how do you invest into this company if it's not even on the stock market yet? Well, that's a good question. All you would have to do is just go into your trading platform and go to IPOB.U. I'll put it up on the screen right now so you can see. And you're going to have to invest the traditional way through that company and wait for the companies to come together. Now, you may not just want to do that just yet if you're just watching this video. There is a whole timing to this, and there's a process to this. I'll explain to you in just a second. So let's learn a little bit more about Opendoor's business before we think about investing in them. So I want to talk to you a little bit about their growth first. So in 2019, Opendoor brought in $4.7 billion in revenue, sold 19,000 homes, which is crazy. That is a 152% increase from the numbers they did in 2018. So that's huge, guys. That's a very big increase. And listen to this. They had $218 million in losses in 2019. So you may think to yourself, but if they're losing this much money, why would I want to invest in them? Well, the reason why is because that number, as large as it may be, is only 4.6% of the revenue. But compared to their losses in 2017, which was 8%, they're almost halfway down from where they were back then. So what analysts are saying is that pretty soon this company is going to start to become profitable. And if you're invested into this company, once it turns a profit, the sky's the limit. Now, I want to talk to you about the investment opportunity. So if you wanted to invest into this company, if you bought the ticker symbol that I mentioned earlier, it's currently trading at about $18 a share. Now, I would wait. I wouldn't buy it right away because the hype just came out last week about the SPAC acquiring or merging with Opendoor. So right now the stock is super hot. It had a huge run up last week. So I would wait, because whenever things run up this quickly, they also tend to pull back. So what I would do is I would buy in at about $12 to $14 and then just let the money sit there. And once the once the merger goes through, then you're going to see these numbers shoot back up. And then you're going to want to take some profit off the table and just leave whatever money you want to invest into that company long term. Now, the reason I say long term is because it could be a few years before this company turns a real profit. And once they do make a real profit, then you guys will definitely see a humongous return. Now, you can probably make 3 to 4 times your money in probably just the short term, but in the long term, you can probably make 10 times your money.
Bam! I bank a milli. Milli! Milli.
With this company, if they become the #1 place to sell your home. Everything is going this way, guys. People are becoming more of kind of like, I don't want to go through the hassle. I just want to do it quickly. And this is what Opendoor is doing. It's allowing people to just go online and sell their home 1, 2, 3 without the hassle of an agent, without the hassle of having people through their home. Now, I'm not saying they're going to get the best or the highest price for their home, but a lot of people don't care. They just don't want the hassle. They just want to sell their house quickly. The craziest thing about this whole concept of investing into these companies that are iBuyers is not that they're profitable today, is that they will be profitable one day. And investing into these before the market catches up could lead to you having huge returns on your money without having to have all the downside of all the things we talked about in this video. Now, personally, I'm going to do both. I like to invest in physical real estate. And the reason why I'm looking at these alternative methods right now is because if you're an active investor, you know exactly what I'm talking about when I tell you it's very difficult to find a good deal right now. For those of you who do not know how to invest and you want to get into investing, I offer a course that you guys can take on my website. If you click the link down below.
Do you see yourself a millionaire someday? Have some guts. Make a decision. Come to my seminar.
So I hope this video brought you guys a lot of value. I know I learned a lot while researching this information for you. And if you want to get more valuable content just like this, I'm going to be starting a Patreon just for real estate investors, people who want to learn more about real estate stock or stock in general. And if you're a real estate agent and you just want more advice on how to grow your business. So if you're interested in joining our Discord group and also our Patreon, it's going to be just a few bucks a month, guys. I'm only opening up to about 20 people in the very beginning because I want to make sure that I still am able to answer everyone's questions. So if you're interested in that, I'm leaving a link down below where you guys can find more information about that. So thank you guys for watching this video, and we'll see you next time. Take care.